Hello and welcome. In this tutorial, we are going to look at some physics-related actions and what happens when they are placed in either the update function or the fixed update function. We have in our scene a cube, which is a rigid body. We'll apply some force to it to set it in motion and then stop it. We'll be placing the physics-related code first in the update function, then in the fixed update function. Before we start, let's change the fixed time step from 0.02 seconds to 5 seconds. We'll also change the interpolate property of the rigid body from none to interpolate. Here we have our code. Let me explain the sections. We have some variables declared. In the awake function, we initialize the RB variable to reference the rigid body component of the cube. The uptime text variable is also referencing the UI text game object that will display the uptime of the game when we enter play mode. In the update function, anytime we press the spacebar, we want to display in the console window the uptime and the X position of the cube. Likewise, when the escape key is pressed, we do same. A force is applied to the rigid body when the spacebar is pressed, and the rigid body is asked to sleep when the escape key is pressed. And when the cube starts to move or when it is stopped, the uptimes and the X positions of the cube are displayed in the console window. Then finally, in the fixed update function, the uptime and the X position of the cube is again displayed. Now let's enter play mode and see. Let's examine the console output. In about 3 seconds of uptime, the spacebar was pressed and a force was applied to the rigid body, but it did not move. It was at the next fixed update call at about 7 seconds into gameplay that the cube started moving. At about 13 seconds of uptime, the escape key was pressed and the cube stopped moving immediately. Now let's move that piece of code from the update function to the fixed update function. Let's enter play mode. Let's again examine the console output. At about 3 seconds of uptime, the spacebar was pressed, but no force was applied to the cube. It was during the next fixed update call that the force was applied to the cube, which then started moving. Then at about 13 seconds of uptime, the escape key was pressed. But the cube kept moving till the next fixed update call. Then the sleep command was executed and the cube stopped moving. So we can infer that irrespective of where the piece of code was placed to apply some force to the rigid body, the cube actually started moving during the next fixed update call. The sleep command in the update function stopped the cube immediately, but when it was placed in the fixed update function, the cube stopped at the next fixed update call. Thus, when the frame rate is the same or faster than the fixed time steps, then physics-related code may be written in the update function. Please subscribe to this channel for more videos. Thank you.